Hey everyone, Bilbo here. Sorry I haven't had any non-Minecraft videos out for a while. I've kept meaning to do things, and I've just been either busy doing summer things or not busy doing summer things, if you know what I mean. Lots of relaxation time, lots of movie watching, lots of TV show watching. It's been great. So I am sorry that the channel has suffered because of it, but we do have a UHC now. Been working hard on the BB09 files. Got some pretty exciting stuff coming up with that soon, so I hope you'll stay tuned for that. Oh, and then there's this too. I think it's the first time you've seen that, which, well, it's for something which you'll figure out later. But anyway, I wanted to show you some new Blu-Rays I have acquired. I've acquired quite a few since the last time I have done one. It's gonna be way too much for one video, so I think I'll split it into like part 1, part 2, and then collections. Because a lot of them I bought for myself. I bought a few for Father's Day and birthdays, but you know, my dad's nice and he's going to let me show you guys those, so I'm excited to show you those as well. But for today we're just going to start out with some more standard issue Blu-ray discs. Now, most of these are great, wonderful films. There's a few though, just like anything, you know, not everything can be wonderful. There's a few I had some high expectations for and I bought them. I was a little disappointed I spent money on them. Luckily, there's only been 1 or 2 so far, because most of these are excellent. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I got the 2000 collection, 2001, and 2010. I have watched 2001. I've seen this at least 2 or 3 times. It's one that I have a love-hate relationship with. There's parts of it that I think, wow, this is amazing. I mean, this came out about 1968. That would have been 9 years before the first Star Wars. And some of these scenes look, not only do they look almost as good as Star Wars, but some of them look very, very similar to Star Wars, and of course this came out first. George Lucas has a habit of, well, I don't know if he realizes it or not, but he has a habit of taking other people's things and twisting them a bit. Of course it's awesome what he does with it, but he does have a habit of doing it just a bit too much. And I also have 2010, the year we make contact. I have not watched this one yet. My grandfather has, and he says he actually likes it better than 2001, which is considered one of the greatest movies of all time, if not the best sci-fi movie of all time. I do not agree with that. The opening and the ending I do not really like, especially the ending. It's just, I like a thoughtful movie, but when it just gets too weird and out there, then I lose interest. This gets a little too weird and out there. The whole entire middle of the movie, though, is excellent, especially the parts with Hal the computer. So I would recommend watching this. It just, if for nothing else, there are so many pop culture references that are derived from this movie, so you kind of have to watch it. Both of these, this one is rated G, this one is rated PG. Not much to worry about there. I can't speak for this one, but this one, you know, probably the most disturbing thing about this movie is the insane computer, and then the monkey's like, dramatic slow-mo with dramatic music in the background. Insert, please. Now, I know I've already told you guys about Cloverfield. This is a pretty decent film. It's kind of the best Godzilla movie that isn't exactly a Godzilla movie. It's filmed in a, what's that style called? First-person, shaky camera style. I know there's a correct term for that. I cannot remember it right now. You know what I'm talking about, though. I'm holding the camera and shaking it all over the place, and there's a monster attacking me. Cloverfield is a decent movie. It's actually pretty good for what it is. I would give it a B or a B+, but it's come out with a quasi-sequel, 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I would say is a significant improvement over the first one. It kind of has nothing to do with the first one, so maybe that's a plus right there. This is almost an A+ film for me. I'm just barely giving it an A, though. It's somewhere in between. This is an excellent film. I would highly recommend it. Now, granted, I've not seen too many movies from 2016 so far. I have seen about 3 or 4, though. This is by far the best that I've seen. Definitely recommend checking this out. It's an amazing film. John Goodman is excellent in this movie. Absolutely excellent. He does a fantastic job. The movie is it's kind of like an updated Alfred Hitchcock film for the majority. Then it kind of goes off on a tangent, which I won't spoil, which Alfred Hitchcock wouldn't have done. By the way, awesome slipcover. I love this. It comes out right here. Like this. This is the original poster for the movie, and then this goes over it. And, I don't know, I think it's a cool design. I like it a lot. Rated PG-13 for thematic material including frightening sequences of threat with some violence and brief language. It is an extremely tense movie. This is one of the tensest films, like White Knuckle, that I've ever seen. I was so absorbed in this movie the first time I watched it. I've only seen it once. I'm going to watch it again soon, though, because it was so good. But I was so absorbed in this movie. I cannot remember the last time I was that zoned into a movie. I wasn't thinking about another thing. And I never glanced at my watch. When the ending came, I was like, no! It's over already? And it kind of leaves you hanging. I won't spoil it, but I was a little disappointed that it left you hanging that much. Especially since if they do another Cloverfield movie, it's probably going to have nothing to do with this, because that's the style they're going for, is this anthology, kind of like the Twilight Zone, except there's just these tiny, tiny little details that connect everything. Very, very interesting. I love it. If they do more of these, and they're good, this is going to go down as one of my favorite series of all time. Very, very original. J.J. Abrams has done it again. He's already done with the original Cloverfield, Super 8, the first half of Lost, and of course Star Wars 7, and numerous other projects he's done, which I do want to check out soon. He's definitely a genius, and from what I can tell, I like his original content better than when he takes, like Star Trek and Star Wars and tries to revamp them. He does a decent job with those. I've actually not seen the new Star Treks yet. I do want to check those out, though, especially with Star Trek Beyond coming out. But so far, I definitely like his original content better than like Star Wars Episode 7. I know Star Wars 7 is like the big movie. It was the biggest movie of last year, and it's still being heavily referenced. I still see tons of T-shirts and so much advertising. Everyone's pumped for Rogue One. I enjoy this better. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but like I said, I just wasn't that into Star Wars Episode 7, which I did buy, by the way. I don't remember if I included that. I can't remember what I included in the last update, because I filmed another update a while back and it got corrupted somehow. So just expect more parts of this soon. Here's one I was extremely pleasantly surprised with, Castaway. This is one of those movies that I've heard referenced so many times, and I was like, well, I probably ought to check it out and just see what it's all about. This was an amazing film. I loved it. Tom Hanks has done it again. Robert Zemeckis, very interesting, because all I've seen from him before is the Back to the Future series, comedy, and that Who Framed Roger Rabbit movie, which also a comedy and animation. So I wasn't expecting something very serious like this from him, and he did a very good job at it. It's obviously flawed. Every movie has its flaws, but this is probably the quintessential, oh no, I'm stuck on an island movie. So everything else has probably taken inspiration from this. And once you watch this, you will never look at a volleyball the same way. It's either a volleyball or soccer ball, I can't remember. One of those Wilson balls. You'll never look at them the same way again. I've never been that emotionally invested in an inanimate object before. In an inanimate object before. Say that 5 times fast. Now here's another one. Gladiator. Classic. Gotta have it. So good. My second favorite Russell Crowe movie. Master and Commander is such an underrated film, and I love it so much that I've got to give this one a second. But most people say this is the best movie. Winner 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture from the year 2000, which was also the year that this came out. This could have easily won Best Picture, too. Between these two, that's tough. Gladiator, probably more of a classic than this one, but still both very good films, and I haven't seen every movie from the year 2000, but I think this was probably a very close contender for Best Picture. Speaking of Tom Hanks, I've got a Tom Hanks double feature here. Excellent deal. I got this for less than $10 at Barnes & Noble. The Green Mile and Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, obviously a classic. Everyone's seen it, although I don't know if I've seen it all the way through. I know all the famous parts, Run Forrest Run and all that. I gotta sit down and watch that again sometime soon, though. But I did watch The Green Mile, which I had never seen before. This is a new A+ movie for me. I was stunned by how much I enjoyed this movie. Kept me invested for its entire almost 6:12:18, almost 4-hour runtime. Very long movie, but very, very good. It's actually based on a Stephen King story. I actually prefer Stephen King when he writes more serious stuff like this. The Green Mile, Stand By Me, that's another one I got. I don't think I brought it back here with me, but I will be telling you more about that one in another update video. It's an excellent film. Also Stephen King, also more of a serious story. This one is very serious, very sad at times, and kind of funny at times too. There's a mouse in it. He does an excellent job. The mouse should have won an Oscar, I think. But great story, excellent cast. Highly recommend this movie. One of my few A+ films. I really don't have that many A+ films. Probably 10 or less. This is one of them. I put it right up there, Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park, with all my favorites. I would definitely be watching this one again. However, quick side note, it is rated R, mostly for language, violence, and then some references to some stuff that the criminals have done. But if you're over like 15 or so, I think you can watch it, especially since it's such an excellent story. So I would highly recommend it. Check with your parents, obviously, depending on how old you are. If you're still with your parents, but if they'll let you see it, watch it for sure. Excellent film. Let's move on to a less than excellent film, at least in my opinion. I actually pre-ordered this one because I really wanted to see it, and I heard excellent things about it. I was really excited about it. Midnight Special, filmed by Jeff Nichols. He's not like us, is the tagline. Starring Michael Shannon, Joel Edgerton, Kirsten Dunst, Adam Driver, who was Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens, and Sam Shepard. Adam Driver's the only one I'd ever heard of and seen. Should have taken it as a sign, unfortunately. Rated PG-13 for some violence and action. A lot of this movie is kind of sitting and talking. If you're looking for a sci-fi film, you might want to look elsewhere. This is a sci-fi film that does not focus on sci-fi. It focuses more on family and relationships, of father and son. It's an interesting film, and I can't say I love it and I can't say I hate it. I would probably give it about a B- for me personally. It is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. But I don't know. It was okay, but I wasn't a huge fan. I think they could have used, I don't know. It was interesting the direction it took. The director has actually come out and said that plot is not important to him. He's a filmmaker. So he prefers emotion over plots. There's definitely some emotion in this movie. Not quite as much as I was expecting, though. I didn't really feel sad very much. However, the person who wrote this, I think it was the director, his son was dealing with some life-threatening medical issues at the time that he wrote this story. I don't want to spoil anything about the movie. I guess I would recommend seeing it. Don't buy it, though. Do not buy it. I kind of cringed I spent money buying this. I would recommend renting it, though. Just see... Because some people absolutely loved it. I saw reviews of people who thought it was amazing. I thought it was okay. It's a decent film, just if you're looking for aliens and explosions. There are some explosions, and there are some aliens. Just not much of them. Here's a pretty good movie, Contagion. I haven't seen it for a few years, so I can't say for sure, but I do remember enjoying it when I did see it. The tagline is, "Nothing spreads like fear." Pretty awesome tagline. Amazing cast, by the way. I'm probably going to butcher this. Marion Cotillard? Cotillard? Something like that. She's French. She was in Inception and The Dark Knight Rises. Also Matt Damon, Lawrence Fishburne, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Kate Winslet. Amazing cast. Some people did not like this movie. Because they thought it was a little boring at times. This film takes the whole idea of, oh my gosh, we're all gonna die because there's a disease. And instead of blowing it out of proportion and stuff, they keep it more real. And I have to applaud them for that. It's a serious film that takes a look at what could actually happen. I mean, look at Ebola, look at Zika virus, all these diseases that we've been worrying about. And of course the constant battle coming up with new antibiotics, because they're starting to fight back, and they're starting to these little microorganisms starting to realize, how can we get back at those evil humans? So it's actually kind of a scary film because of the reason that it's more real. And as I said, excellent cast. Some people said that the cast is a little bland, even though it's an amazing one. But like I said, that's mostly because it is so real. There's not gonna be all these heroes and people well, of course, it's gonna be people you love, but it's just taking more of an objective look at things. So if you're looking for some disaster movie like, I don't know, San Andreas, except with germs or something like that, don't go looking for this movie. If you want more of a, I don't want to say documentary style, but kind of like that, except with an amazing cast and high quality stuff, then I definitely recommend this movie. It is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but it is one of those movies that critics like more than audiences. But as an audience member, I do remember enjoying it. I'm going to check it out again soon. Now, I'm not much into foreign films, but this is considered one of the best, if not the best. It's called Life is Beautiful. It's kind of like a Schindler's List, except toned down. It's an Italian film. It won Best Foreign Language Film, Best Actor, and Best Music at the Academy Awards. It's called A Modern Masterpiece. Came out in 1997. And it's about a father who has to convince his son that the Holocaust is a game. Obviously, an emotional film. It's kind of funny at times, though, too. Darkly funny. Very enjoyable movie. It's probably, I'm going to say it's my favorite foreign film, because I haven't seen very many, and the only others I have seen are like martial arts movies and stuff. So definitely recommend checking this out. I got this for $4 at Barnes & Noble. I thought it was sad that they were selling this for so little. It's considered one of the best movies of all time on IMDb, and I definitely recommend it. It's an excellent film. Rated PG-13 for Holocaust-related thematic elements. So it is, I mean, if you want to see a Holocaust movie, it's still a brutal movie in an emotional way, but it's not nearly as brutal as, say, Schindler's List or something like that. Classic Blade Runner. I have not actually seen this movie all the way through. I started watching it and I don't remember liking it. But it's one of my dad's favorite movies, so I'm going to watch it again with him sometime soon. And it's by Ridley Scott, who I've discovered is one of my favorite directors. He did Alien and Gladiator, so many good movies. So I want to give this one another chance. And it is considered one of the best films of all time. So I'll let you know what I think when I watch it. How about one of the best movies of all time, recommended to me by TheSecond and my grandfather, by the way, The Prestige. Excellent film, so good. Not as good as Inception, and I'm around the same as the Dark Knight trilogy, all by Christopher Nolan. Stars Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Scarlett Johansson, and David Bowie. The only other movie I've seen David Bowie in is Labyrinth. We're not going to talk about that. So once again, an excellent film. Has one of the most interesting endings of a movie of all time. And Peter Travers from Rolling Stone magazine said you want to see it again the second it's over. Not to go quite that far, but it's definitely one that you want to see again at some point, once you know what the story is, so you can go back and see, oh, that's what happened, okay. Rated PG-13 for violence and disturbing images. And disturbing ideas, too. The ending involves some disturbing ideas, which I won't spoil. But kind of completes my Christopher Nolan collection. I do have the Dark Knight trilogy now, but I want to save that for when I do collection reviews, because it is a very nice one. It includes some bonus content, so I want to save that for later. But it's definitely not my favorite Nolan film. I think that goes to Inception still. Then this one, and then the Dark Knight trilogy, which is still amazing upon rewatch. But I like this and Inception just a little better. Hello, boys! I'm back! Independence Day is back in theaters. Independence Day Resurgence just came out the day I'm filming this, actually, which will probably be a few days later for you, or a few days earlier for you guys. Unfortunately, it's getting pretty bad reviews. They're saying it's boring and more of the same. And Independence Day is basically a movie version of a bag of Cheetos. Not much substance, not much nutrition, but a lot of flavor. Mostly from, of course, the wonderful, the awesome Jeff Goldblum, who, he's great. That's my terrible Jeff Goldblum impression. So I actually haven't seen this for a few years, but with the 4th of July coming up, I wanted to see it again. And I was hoping I was going to watch this and then go see Resurgence, but, well, with the bad reviews and stuff, probably not going to. But this is a classic. It's not like one of your best movies of all time or anything, but if you're looking for a big fun romp with aliens, then check this out. And of course Jeff Goldblum's in it, so it's going to be pretty good. And in fact, most people are saying that the best part of Resurgence is Jeff Goldblum. In fact, they're saying that he's like the only person who acts interested in being there. So I'll leave it to Jeff Goldblum to do that. But fun movie. There's lots of good 4th of July movies, actually. There's this one, of course, there's Jaws, Patriot. So this 4th of July, check out a few of those movies for sure. Got a few more here for you guys, but I'm going to have to wrap it up here soon. Apollo 13, a Ron Howard film, which I was excited to watch after actually really liking In the Heart of the Sea, even though like no one else did. I enjoyed it. Apollo 13, it's a very realistic film. So if you're, once again, if you're looking for explosions and aliens and all that, then stay away. If you're looking for a realistic take on what actually happens, then check it out. Pretty good cast: Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, Bill Paxton, Gary Sinise, I think is how you say it, and Ed Harris. Mostly the first two. I'd never really heard of the other three. I mean, I've heard the names, but I couldn't tell you anything they're in. But yeah, fun. No, maybe not a fun movie. It's more of a serious movie. And to be honest, I actually enjoyed In the Heart of the Sea a little bit better. Don't kill me, please. 20th Anniversary Edition. Here's a mini-series that my family decided to buy because we wanted to see it and we didn't realize it wasn't on TV anymore. That's advertising for you. Anyway, it's a 3-part mini-series with a pretty good cast. Most notably, Sam Neill, Jurassic Park, Aidan Turner, The Hobbit, and I have heard this name before, Charles Dance. I think he's in a few of my movies that I just can't remember. I think he has pretty small parts. I think he's more of a television actor. It's a British series based on Agatha Christie's story. Pretty predictable. Well, actually no, maybe not quite that predictable, because I didn't see the ending coming. I mean, you know what's, for most of the series, you know what's going to happen next, and then there were none. So, obviously, some people are going to go away. Bye. But overall, it was a fun miniseries. I did enjoy it, and like I said, I couldn't say I saw the ending coming. So, good job to not only Agatha Christie but to the filmmakers as well. I've got 2 more here for you guys today, and then I'm gonna have to wrap it up, unfortunately. But I will be back soon with another update with some collections and stuff. The second to last one I have here is The Imitation Game. Benedict Cumberbatch, amazing. In fact, I just finished watching the Sherlock series, which I loved. It's my second favorite series of all time now, after The X-Files. So I definitely will collect that at some point. What else did I see him in? Oh, The Hobbit. I was thinking there's 3 things I've seen him in. Well, you don't really see him in The Hobbit, but he did an excellent job as Smaug with the voice and the mocap and all that. And I'm excited to see him as Doctor Strange. As you know, I'm not a huge Marvel fan. But as long as he gets good reviews, I do want to go see that because I am a huge fan of Benedict Cumberbatch. He's an amazing actor. Especially as Sherlock. He did an excellent job. Anyway, he's amazing in this movie too. Very interesting historical drama. I love movies based on fact, and this was a very, very interesting one. 8 Academy Award nominations. It almost won Best Picture. What did it lose to? I cannot remember. This is from last year. What won last year? I think it was Birdman, which I didn't see because Birdman. As you can hear, I have enough problems with birds. I don't need Birdmen running around too. Anyway, excellent film. Not for children, but very, very good movie. Highly recommend it. Benedict Cumberbatch and Keira Knightley. Both very good, but especially Benedict Cumberbatch. My final one that I'm going to show you today is not really something conventional, or even really a movie. It is feature length though, and it is the Imagine Dragons Smoke and Mirrors live package. Very, very nice. Comes with this fold-out thingamajig. Probably ought to hold that more in the center. Got some nice pictures in here. We've also got a pamphlet. I was hoping there would be lyrics in there. I mean, I've already got lyrics from the CD booklets, but it's really just a bunch of pictures. As you can see here, got all the band members and pictures of them at the concert, which was filmed live in Toronto, I believe. I know it was somewhere in Canada. Pretty sure it was Toronto. So it comes with a Blu-ray disc, and you can get DVD as well, and there's also exclusive fan packages, which are pretty expensive on their website, but very nice. So the black one is the Blu-ray, and then the white is a CD, which unfortunately does not contain everything from the concert. I don't know why. Maybe they had some trouble editing it or something, or maybe the crowd was too loud for those songs, but they were pretty loud for everything, because I watched the Blu-ray. I've not actually popped in the CD yet, but I did watch the Blu-ray. It is almost 2 hours long and contains special features as well, including some multi-angle performances of Roots and I Was Me. A little bit of background information on Roots as well, from one of their team members. And alternate versions of Hopeless, Opus, and Gold, which I was hoping was going to be alternate musical versions, but it's just different visuals on the screen or something. So, if you're an Imagine Dragons fan, definitely recommend picking this up. Contains almost everything from the Smoke and Mirrors, almost everything I say, because they did not do Second Chances, The Unknown, It Comes Back to You, Summer, and Dream. I believe that was it. And then they do a few things from their first album, Night Visions, some of which they did not perform at the concert I went to in Tampa, which makes me mad. They didn't do Amsterdam. It's one of my favorites, and they didn't play that at mine. They played it here, though. Now, this was actually only filmed like three or 5 days before the concert I went to, which is kind of interesting. It would have been amazing if they'd done the one, if they filmed the one that I went to. I would have loved that. But unfortunately not. They decided to go with Toronto instead. And it is Toronto, right? Yes, it's Toronto. Prepare to hear Dan Reynolds scream Toronto like 25 times in the middle of their concert. It's kind of funny, actually. I don't remember him shouting Tampa 100 times. But anyway, it is pretty much 2 hours long, 117 minutes approximately. So very nice. You can get it for about $20 on Amazon. At least that's what the pre-order price was. And I have to call it there because I have 1 minute battery left. So thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys next time. More Blu-rays and stuff coming soon. So goodbye. Thanks for tuning in.